This is the time right now, about to head on a serious adventure up north, drop off all the supplies for the season, and have an awesome adventure. Check out this orchid in full bloom for the spring. Got a few others here as well. This one is growing upwards, coming along, but this one is absolutely gorgeous. There's only one way to start an epic road trip, and that is, of course, with a balanced breakfast of delicious Mickey D's. This is my balanced breakfast, by the way, just black coffee. I would never eat McDonald's because McDonald's is terrible for you. Haven't had it in 15 plus years, but yeah, this is all my stuff that I have for my adventure. So we have the front and the back completely full, and then in the trunk we got batteries, got all sorts of good stuff, a bike back here that I'm bringing up to the property. This is all the stuff that I've packed, so you can see there's one battery, got a bunch of cool stuff back here, a bike, which I'll get more into afterwards. In the back, we got some chairs, got more batteries, more stuff here. And then the best part is probably the front, where as you can see, we have a sink full of all sorts of goodies, which I will unpack. So the car is fully packed up right now, and we are about to get on the highway, and I'll check in a little bit. I keep getting this warning that the tire pressure is low, and so I got it right on as soon as I got on the highway, which scared me because I'm like, oh, I'm getting a flat tire, this is not good. And then what ends up happening is that I pump the tires and it just continues to have this warning, so I'm guessing just because I have a lot of weight in the car. So yeah, I'm almost there anyway, so we're just gonna see what happens. I just arrived, I made it. One of the nicest days ever. I like cooler temperatures, I don't like being too hot, so this is perfect for me. What a beautiful day. Look how blue that sky is over the mountain. Not too many clouds up there. Sun is shining, and yeah, going to set up all the solar system and everything else and have a wonderful couple of days here. So I set up 2 of the panels. The shipping container opened up perfectly today. The sun is beaming down, and so I have already set up the batteries, so those are good to go here, nice and tight. And look at that, solar system is fully set up and the batteries are charging from the divine rays of the sun. All right, so I'm gonna start unloading the car. Lots of stuff in there, so yeah, lots of stuff to unpack, all sorts of crazy stuff. Got the solar system set up, so yeah, I got to unpack this, set up everything else, and then yeah, we're gonna kick back, relax, have a fire tonight, tell some stories. I gotta do a little mission later, but yeah, awesome times, man. I had some issues getting here this morning, to be honest, so first things first is the little clip on my GoPro broke on the casing, so it doesn't really fit on properly. Next was my headlamp. The clip on that also didn't work, and I believe in preparing hardcore. I went to Beavers and Cubs and Boy Scouts, so stuff like this, you have to expect the unexpected. Additionally, on top of that, so I'm on the highway in maybe Ajax leaving Toronto, and there's this warning light on my car that appears, and it's like, oh, your tires have low pressure, and I'm like, oh boy, am I gonna get a flat tire? And so I luckily make it to a gas station and go to the oxygen pump. So I pump an air pump the tires there. They were sort of low, but I filled them up to about 45-ish psi, so they now have some more pressure. But yeah, I was able to get the whole way here, and the light keeps going, so I don't know if it was just the weight of all the stuff. I'm gonna take everything out and check, but we'll see what happens, and I'll catch you in a bit. Alright, we got this weather station. This thing is pretty sweet. Yeah, it's going to allow us to tell the temperature in this cabin and also on the outside. There's also a little wind turret, and it's wireless, so it'll show us the wind speed. Additionally, I think it forecasts the temperature for a couple of days out, which is super cool, so you don't even need anything else. But yeah, I've seen other outdoor people have one of these. I wanted one. I got it on sale at Canadian Tire, so yeah, man, I'm stoked to set this up, and yeah, I'll set this up later and we'll see how this works. Next up is this thing. So this owl was in our old cottage that we have, our old chalet in southern Quebec at Owl's Head, and I've had this forever. There's a big crack in the side of it, but it was a wood carving that stood in our place, and it was just to ward off mice. And so I'm thinking of putting it in this cabin, maybe at the top. Potentially though, I put it in the outhouse over there. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, I really like this thing. Has some dust on it, so I'm gonna need to clean it off, but yeah, this is another addition to the property. I have my weightlifting belt for the batteries. I have a wired keyboard and mouse that is going to stay here because I was using this wireless one last year, and using MacBooks is super frustrating. You need an adapter for the newer MacBooks, and in some cases you have too many things set up. So I was using this wireless one up here and it just kept not working because of the battery. So I got a full wired one. There's also a Wi-Fi thing that you can set up for Mac or for PCs, even though I use Mac. So yeah, another addition. This one comes in multiple pieces. You might be able to actually guess what this is already. So got a couple of tires here. Might be wondering what are these for, and I will show you. There's a story behind this. So a couple months back, I was walking down the street, listening to some music after working a bit. And I'm walking down the street and I see this thing there and I'm like, oh, what is that? Looks like perfect. And for months I've been like, man, it would be so nice if we had a full suspension bike for the off-grid property, because I have too many bikes at this point. I actually have 10 bikes back in the city, which is insane now that I think about it. There was actually a point where I had 11 recently plus one frame that isn't built up. So I had 11 plus one frames or bikes. And so there's a screw here. What I decided to do is I'm like, oh, I'm going to trade 2 or 3 of them, just sell them on Facebook Marketplace and then get a full suspension bike. But I'm walking down the street a couple months back and this pops up. This beauty. Look at this thing. This thing is probably from the 2000s, I would say. Haven't dated it yet, but I'll set it up. But yeah, full suspension bike. Had to loosen the bull horns to actually get it into the car, but as you can see, it is a specialized bike. So I'm going to set this up after, show you what it looks like. So man, I can go on crazy rides up here now. I have some of the trail footage, by the way. I finally had a chance to look at it about a month or so ago, and there was some crazy stuff. You can see in that footage there was a few people that biked by. There was also some coyotes that came by. There was a deer, and then you can see very briefly this moose running away. So all sorts of stuff on the trail cam. I think I might have actually forgot it in the city, unfortunately, when I was going this morning, because you always forget something. But if I did happen to pack it, I will put it up again, probably in a different spot. And we'll see what else we can capture on that. But I am super excited about this bike overall. I mean, free. Like, this is probably a couple $1,000 bike, I would say, new in the city. So yeah, it works perfectly. There's no issues with it. We got the seat for the bike. At first with the bike, there were some issues with the shifters. So the shifters actually didn't work, which is probably why these people were throwing out it. And when I actually went to go get it, I'm like looking at it, and the guy's like, just take it. Just, it's yours. And I'm like, okay. So I just take it, walk it home, and yeah, tuned it up. The whole drive system worked perfectly. The suspension in the front and the back has no issues whatsoever, which shocked me. Haha, that's pun. The bull horns, I might take them off because I don't know if I want bull horns on a mountain bike, to be honest. Probably will just put regular grips on. The grips are a little bit loose. The seat has some issues getting out and going in, so that's maybe something I'll replace in the long run, but otherwise I'm going to set it up after and go for a little ride around here, check some stuff out, and yeah. My brother wanted me to take this up, some sort of pedestal that he had, a latch system. So yeah, it kind of flips out basically, right? So you set this up somewhere, like against something. Let me show you. So you just basically set it up like this, right? So you have it against something like here, right? You drill it in, and then when you want to use it, it just pops out, right? And then that way, again, just for saving space, you can put it away when you're not using it. So yeah, we'll probably have a bunch of these going in different places throughout, probably in the outhouse specifically. Right, next up, got this. Had this in the house for a while. Let me adjust the camera once again. So yeah, this is just a mirror, so that's gonna go in the outhouse just because, you know, in case the ladies come up here, maybe they want to do their makeup, right? Maybe people just want to look and have a deep moment looking at themselves in the mirror just to reflect on life. Maybe they, you know, have a few too many, you know, brewskis and they go in the old used beer department over there, and yeah, they just reflect on maybe it's time to sober up. These are silencing slim electronic earmuffs. So when I was firing the pews, you can't hear anything, and I have lever action pews. So the sound it makes is maybe the best sound in the entire world on these Henry pews that I have, okay? Henry repeating arms pews, my favorite brand of pew in the entire world. So when it comes to those, though, I couldn't hear that sound, right? And it's just one of my favorite sounds that I hear, and that's the reason why I got 2 of them. So the best sound in the world, by the way, is a Zippo lighter. It's like my favorite sound in the entire world, like just hearing it open and then the lighting of it, just I don't know what it is. I like metallic sounds, I'm weird like that, but those are my favorite things. So with these, though, what it does is you put them on and you can hear everything around you, and then when you actually fire the pew, it silences out that loud noise. So you can be going in the woods, and then when you're ready to actually blast something, you don't mess up your hearing. This is the Henry Golden Boy 22 long range, the first pew that I bought. Loved it, loved lever action, feels like the Wild West. Very important, though, once again, that you always practice safety, and whenever you don't have it in use, you have it locked up, because you never know what could happen. I grabbed these last weekend, these gravity chairs at Shoppers. They were on sale. They had some event that I got a bunch of bonus points, and I'm like, yeah, it's time. So they had 3 of them. I got 2. Maybe I'll grab the 3rd one if it goes on sale again or it's on clearance. Couple of things is that last year in the fall when we were here, closing up in November, there was a couple of issues. So number 1 is the hot water tank. So that was spewing water out because we left it outside accidentally in November. So probably burst a part of it. I found a video online, though, where this woman actually fixes it, okay? So I think that I'll be able to actually repair it, to be honest. I'm very confident in that. Either I do it today or tomorrow, or I just do it back in the city. We do have a welder in the city that has been in the garage for how long has it been in there? Maybe like 30 years unused. So yeah, it's a, like, I think it's an arc welder with these, what are they called, stig rods, I believe they're called. So maybe I learned welding and yeah, I figured that out. But otherwise I have these braze-on things. Oh, this little woodpecker up there, so cool. There he is up there, if you can see him. He's chilling out. He's having a great birdie day. So what I'm thinking of doing though is fixing that. I'll show myself if I'm able to fix it, but I think that would be very interesting if I'm actually able to fix that. There's this trench, by the way, that I dug last year that's fun. And I'm going to be still in great shape after the winter, to be honest. No issues whatsoever with the property. But yeah, so that was issue number one, was the hot water heater. Okay, hooked up to the propane. I need to fill the propane tanks too. That's a whole other thing that I need to do as well. So yeah, opening up for the season, getting everything set up so that we can have a great spring, summer, fall. Need to finish building that electrical house. But the other thing that broke was the projector. So we tried to use it. So when we went up in the fall, we had 2 nights where we partied fairly hard, I would say. Is there something there? You smell it? What is it? Is there something there? You can smell it, huh? What is it? Is it a squirrel?
Property too, and nice little, like, beautiful little.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I like when you have the fire going, right?
Oh, not melt completely, just soften a bit. So that
It's gonna straight melt.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Take it off after it's melted, and then it'll. I'm sure it'll solidify in about 30 seconds. No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just whatever we've done is excellent. That's good. I'll take that.
All I was waiting for.
Yeah.
The little source
That's
of
it.
ignition.
Exactly.
It had so much stored energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait.
Yeah.
Woo!
That was really
Fire!
good. Gasoline wins every time.
Look at that
I
flame.
only used half.
Look at all these ladybugs, man. It's like way past halfway through November and we got all these ladybugs chilling in this thing. Keep look at all these ladybugs. They're just chilling up here, man. They've all been inside here. It's probably perfect temperature for them. It's like 0 or 1 degrees. We're closing down for the season. Got the building down there. Unfortunately, I had to take her down. Shipping container is so packed right now. Look at this. Just absolutely ridiculous. So much stuff in here, but it's the way it's got to be. Closing it down for the season. Great time. But in the middle of the night, we were chilling. We had the outdoor salamander heater going, right, which is just a propane heater going, and because there was an issue with the, oh yeah, that's the other issue that I forgot to mention. So the chimney pipe must be clogged, because when we were putting wood in, and probably because we were putting in green wood, right, that's not a good idea to do. It must be clogged because there was air seeping out, and the whole inside of the bunkie was getting very smoky. And so I was trying to like put aluminum foil around and then duct tape that and keep it in place, and it worked to a certain extent, but there was still obviously smoke coming out and has carbon monoxide, and the carbon monoxide detector was going crazy, so bailed on that. And then I tried to set up the projector didn't work whatsoever. I tried multiple things and it just wouldn't turn on, so maybe it was just too cold, I'm not sure, but we'll see. But if it is broken, they have a couple at at Shoppers Drug Mart that I'll probably get. Just, I don't know if I'll cash in some of my optimum points or just buy it, whatever. It's like $50, and the one that we had is some no-name brand off Amazon, so I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. So worst case, I get one of those. It'll be like, yeah, $50-$60, and then yeah, we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, super excited about these. I'll get the other one out. Two of these. We have another red one. So now we have, how many of these do we have now? Three, and then all of these, all sorts of like lawn chairs, right? That I don't like those fold-up chairs. Those fold-out camping chairs. I don't like sitting in those things. They're very uncomfortable after a while. They're great for some people, but not for me. So that's why I got these. So you can see we have this basin. So I found one of these already, and we put it up with our water station. So there's one over there that I found. Someone was throwing theirs out and it's in perfect condition. And then I found another bin, and then I have another one back in the city. So we have 3 sinks, which is crazy. This one's much bigger and it doesn't have a bottom to hold it up, but then we have the Dutch oven. So I seasoned this, so this should be good to go. So what else we got? Oh, I did bring the cam. Okay, so someone sent me a message being like, hey, we have this Amazon product, we want to send you one for free if you review it on your channel. So they sent me this for free, this mini electric chainsaw. So this thing works extremely well. I used it a few times in the winter just back in the city. So these things work very, very well. I will edit in a video that I recorded last fall of us trying it out. So someone saw my most recent YouTube videos and sent me this mini electric chainsaw. Appreciate you. I believe your name is Alberta McIntosh. So this video is dedicated to you, as well as Mrs. Myrtle Urkel. All right, so let's check out this baby. So what we got here? We got the battery, got the little chainsaw itself, the charger right there. Got some oil, a little screwdriver. All right, so we're gonna put all this together, and in comparison, we're gonna test it out versus a bow saw, as well as a handsaw, to put this into perspective. No chainsaw today, but let's test out this awesome mini electric chainsaw. This is what it looks like fully assembled. It feels a little bit better than I initially thought, to be honest. Higher quality. Makes a decently cool noise as well. Decent. All right, let's test it out. Honestly, I've never tested this out before. Let's get it in my good cutting hand. Wow. Pretty good. Oh, wow. Okay. That was very fast.
Not bad.
Okay, wow.
That's impressive.
Huh.
Let's do another piece.
Let's see. I'm not even putting much pressure on it. It's really just doing the majority of the heavy lifting. So. Excellent. Wow, all right. So let's test this out now versus handsaw, just to put this into perspective. And again, one-handed, without pressure. See this? Okay, so it's still way faster than that. Less energy. I'm tired after that. Now let's test bow saw. All right. So I feel that the mini chainsaw definitely works a lot better.
About like I'd say same speed, much less effort.
Yeah, way less effort. I didn't have to put any pressure on it. So definitely a good way to preserve energy. I'm not sure what the battery life is, but yeah, it's great so far. So as you can see, these things are super, super good. You can check them out on Amazon. I am not affiliated with these guys whatsoever, but I do endorse this product. I don't make any money if you go and buy it on Amazon. Keep this in mind, but I highly recommend getting one of these. We have I didn't bring it up here. We have a regular size chainsaw, and then we have a bow saw. And just for saving energy, just to prevent shoulder fatigue, and the best way to chop up wood, if anyone knows, it's not with an axe. Like maybe for bigger pieces it's an axe, but for smaller stuff, just processing wood, a saw is the best thing. So highly recommend getting one of these things. And we got a few other things. So I got a couple of drinks here, just some sparkling water. Might as well crack one open. They don't have these anywhere else in the world, I don't think. PC Blue, pineapple coconut water, probably the best flavor. Yeah, better than bubbly, better than aha. Alright, I got some plates. I'm not eating for 3 days. I'm doing a 3-day fast right now. So, what I'm doing is, and just in case of emergency, I did bring some beef jerky, but this is going to stay up here. I won't be eating this. Put that over there. But in the meantime, I'm going to be just having this electrolyte supplement. Basically, it's called snake juice. There's this guy, what's his name? Snake Diet Wizard. I think his name is Cole. He has these crazy videos. Like, if you're very sensitive, I don't recommend it because he's just so brutally honest and he swears a bunch and he can be, I guess, seen as very disrespectful. But I don't know. He knows weight loss very well, and everything he talks about is really backed by science. But yeah, this is just an electrolyte supplement powder. All it is sodium, magnesium, and potassium. So yeah, that's really all you need. So I'm going to be fasting for 3 days. So it's Thursday. So I stopped eating last night at 6 p.m. and then I'm fasting another 2 days, I guess, and then I will end it right before the Leafs game on Saturday, where they will beat the Bruins and tie up the series because they lost last night. This is the head for the blowtorch, which I'm going to be using to repair the water heater. This is just like dishes and some boring stuff. Anything interesting in here? Not really. A couple of smaller things. There's a GoPro accessory. Nothing too crazy there. And then this I got. Let me just unpack this. GoPro accessory. So, got this baby. I'm going to try it out after. I've flown it once at home and it's very cool. So I got this little drone. It's very cheap. Got it on AliExpress for like, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks, something like that. So I've tried it out. Flies pretty well. I didn't want to get a DJI one because I've never flown a drone before. And especially up here, if I fly it for the first time and I go too far, it's probably going to break. I'm not expecting much with this. I'm really just expecting to figure out how to fly it. So I got this with a bunch of extra batteries. And then, yeah, we got the sink. And then, this must have been in our old property. It's a automatic washing line. So we've had, every time we're drying stuff, we put it on the solar panels or something else, which is just not intelligent whatsoever. So got this and it just moves, I guess, automatically. But yeah, we've had this for a while, never used it. So I thought, why not? Got some clothes hangers, some soap, a couple thermometers. I'm also going to be having this instant coffee. That's the other beverage I'm going to be having while I fast. Some toothbrushes. Have some Canada Day accessories. Have a knife for cutting stuff. Have a couple fishing lures here. A Leafs flagoon that I brought up to go with the Game of Thrones flagoon that I have. I think it's called a flagoon. I don't know. It's probably just a mug. Whatever. Anyways. So yeah, that's all the stuff that I brought up. So that was kind of a summary of what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of days, all the stuff that I brought up, and I'll catch you in a bit. I got my favorite calendar as well, Country Road. I have 3 of these back in the city right now, but this is the one for 2024. This is the one from 2022. We have last year's, of course. And then I have other ones that I've just had. This Thomas Kincaid one is pretty cool. And then this one, which was last year's that we had in the cabin up here. And then these country welcome ones. So I just love these. And then I got some books. So I got Cottages, Cabins, and Chalets. I got Starting to Run a Handyman Business. I've had this for a while. Ties, Tricks, Home Repair Secrets, plus cheap and easy projects to transform any home. And then we have Wiring, which I've gone through several times. And then finally this Outdoor Wood Project book. And then we also have this Auto Repair for Dummies. So yeah, lots of new books to add to the library up here. I figured out how to take that warning for the tire pressure having issues. So I was trying on this screen here with all these different dials on the steering wheel, but apparently you just do it from this screen, the entertainment screen. So yeah, it's gone, and that thing was driving me crazy and making me so freaking paranoid. What a beauty. So, went for a drive earlier. Had to get this permit and then just processed a bunch of wood. So, only up here for one night, so we're gonna have a massive fire tonight. Gigantic pyre going, and we'll see what happens. And then I'm gonna chill out, do a little bit of work, have one of my chairs set up here in the sun. So the sun is shining. I readjusted the location of the solar panels so that they're getting more sun for night. And yeah, lots of stuff is now set up. I got the bike set up too, so it runs. Go for a little ride tomorrow, so can't wait for that. Got the kayak, of course, got the other basin over there. Now, I talked about the water heater. I went to Home Hardware, and unfortunately they don't have the welds at that specific location. So I can actually see in there the crack on the pipe. So I'm going to have to get those, bring this back to the city, get those aluminum welding rods, use the blowtorch, and then we're good to go. There's a video I found on YouTube, so I'm just going to do that. We are back in the city, and I opened up the water heater, and this is the part that I showed before. Let's try and get it in focus. So this cracked. I did take a hammer and tap it back into place and then sand it down with a Dremel. So I bought some aluminum weld rods, so I'm going to use the blowtorch, and we are going to try and fuse this back together, and I'm optimistic this is going to work perfectly. This is all the equipment necessary to repair this, so let's go through everything. We have the Dremel first of all with the wire brush head. And then in terms of everything, we have all the safety stuff. So we got goggles, gloves, the respirator. This is for Colfi 9, not because of the harmful vapors. And then we have propane, and we have the brazing and welding rods, aluminum ones specifically. And then we have two different blowtorch heads. So I'm going to put those on the propane, use the igniter to get this going, and then yeah, we are going to try and repair this hole right here so that we have hot water off grid. Hole. Putting heat this up first of all. So this is the final result, and it's honestly not the cleanest, but I believe it's going to hold. And then what I'm actually done is I cut out a piece of tin can, and I'm just going to put this on here just to make sure that we're done one time and we never have to worry about this again. So this is the final result. I tried to put the tin can on and it just didn't work whatsoever. The tin can basically just burst into flames completely. So those are made of cheap aluminum. So I put this on, a little bit of solder just in one spot to make sure that there was a full seal. So we'll see how this holds up. So you'll probably see that in the next video. In the meantime, I have to fix this weed whacker. So the carburetor needs to be cleaned because it's intermittently working, and then I need to replace the trimmer heads as well on here, so this should be fun. So I replaced the trimmer heads with these. They come with a whole bunch of them when you buy these mowers, but the issue that I'm having is the mower actually dies when you're using it, so it'll turn on and run fairly lean. It's just that whenever you throttle it up too much, it completely conks out and stops working. So what I did is I actually went through the whole thing and cleaned everything out. So the air filter is perfectly clean because this mower is only about 2.5 years old. So went through, air filter is fine. So took this off, checked the air filter, completely clean. And then the next thing that I checked is the carburetor. It's completely clean as well. I checked the spark plug over here and that's working. And then I actually took off the exhaust and looked in there, and there was a spark arrestor screen missing, so I did replace that. But apparently these things don't work if it's too clogged, and in some cases when you actually, if you just run it with gas because it needs 2-stroke mix, these things will put too much carbon on the exhaust and stop working. But it's pretty much completely clean, and even then I took it off, used a blowtorch and took off any sort of gunk that was there. Tried it out again, didn't work whatsoever. I bought a new carb kit, okay, a brand new carburetor with new fuel lines. I checked the fuel filter, by the way. Nothing wrong with the fuel filter. It was, again, this is a relatively completely new machine that we have here. So checked out the fuel line, checked out the fuel filter. Those were completely clean. I made sure that these two lines here as well were on the right side of the carburetor. Issue persisted, so I ordered a new carburetor on Amazon, a completely new kit. I replaced all the parts, tried it out, and it's still not working. Now it won't even start, which is even more frustrating. And what I did yesterday is, after the original carburetor didn't work, I put back on the replacement one didn't work. I put back on the new one, sprayed some carb cleaner inside, and it started very briefly and then conked out. So I think the issue may just be that I'm using gas that may be too old, because again, you never want to use old gas, and that's what I have in here, and there's honestly not that much left in this tank as it is. So have these two jerry cans right here, so I'm going to need to go to Home Depot, get some 2-stroke mix, and then mix that in one of them, and then get some gas, and then we're going to try this out with the old carburetor, even the new one, and hopefully that works. But I'll follow up with this in a future video. Now I set up the weather station just to see what it looks like. So it does the indoor temperature. I need to set up this thing to have a sensor for the outdoor temperature. So this is what it looks like, and it also spins around, as you can see, to give me the wind speed. So I'll need to set that up, and unfortunately it needs C batteries, which I don't have, and it doesn't say anywhere on the outside of the box that you need C batteries. So once again, I'm gonna have to wait until I'm back in the city to get those, and then set it up next time. This is what the kitchen looks like right now. So put in the new calendar. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. And added the books to the library up there. This is all the food we have, not much, mostly just spices and coffee. Have the Dutch oven up there that I seasoned. And then let me show you the, of course we got the Starlink going. And then when we left, we had to take, this is like a gazebo that we'd set up, so we had to take the white tarp off of this. So we may eventually just use this as a greenhouse because it has the perfect structure for that. And yeah, it gets a lot of sunlight over there specifically, so that's something we'll do in the future. But for now, this is the outhouse, so not really too much that's been upgraded. So yeah, I put this super scary owl to scare people half to death when they come in. Put in another calendar in here. I think this is a TVO one from I remember, something like that. And then yeah, we got the mirror going right here. Got a couple thermometers somewhere, I think back here, that I'm gonna put up. And then added a couple of magazines. So yeah, these were gifted to me. So we have this Bryan Cranston one. I used to be obsessed with Breaking Bad. And so this is from November 2015, a few years, I think, after the finale. So we have that. I've never cracked it open. We have this Maxim from, let's see, 2014, the swimsuit calendar. Never opened this either. Has Paulina Gretzky on the front. And then these two lovely ladies there. So we have those, of course, American Frontiersman. I'm upset because American Frontiersman no longer is a magazine. So I subscribed to them for 2 years, and then I randomly get this one called Guns of the West. And I'm like, what is this? And it's like, oh, Guns of the West, featuring a little bit of outdoor frontiersmen. And I look inside, and yeah, it's a little snippet, and I email them being like, hey, so, I was expecting more. And they're like, yeah, we've discontinued making that. I'm like, well, can you give me some old issues? And they're like, nah, sorry, you're going to get Guns from the West, which, again, like, cool. So I'll be getting a few of those. But yeah, if you're thinking about subscribing or getting an outdoors magazine, this only ran for a couple of years, so I have all the copies of it back at home. And then yeah, the Backwoodsman, I'd say, is your best option if you want an actual, like, what does it say? Campcraft, DIY, homesteading, survival, history, off-grid living, primitive living skills. So yeah, grab one of those instead. I just found it. So this is the TVO calendar. So I'm going to put this up. So TV Ontario has these fascinating things, by the way. They're called riding. So they have like riding the Rideau Canal, riding the Niagara, where they essentially just videotape, like in 4K, them going to different locations in Ontario. And so yeah, they have tripping the Rideau, tripping the Niagara. I think they had one with this train, I forget what it's called, and they have a new one. But yeah, highly recommend those on TVO's YouTube channel. I think there's 5 total videos now, so go check those out and support them. So we're starting off the morning, of course, with the black instant coffee because I am fasting, but this is what the fire looks like after last night. I just swept up the remnants around it and put it on, but yeah, this thing was absolutely raging and extremely hot. I had to stand back from it. Yeah, it's a little nippy this morning. I'm sure the birds are in full effect. You can just hear them absolutely everywhere. I gotta move these or just rotate them so that it gets more sunlight to get some more power, and then we can get some stuff done. The fire is still going. I just raked up all the leaves and sticks that were around it, threw them in there, and got her going once again. So yeah, I had that huge pile of wood, went through all of that. Gigantic pyre, beautiful stars last night. Unbelievable couple of days. Got down to -3 last night, so I was freaking freezing, but I survived, and I'm doing well. All right, we have the drone all set up. Batteries are fully charged, so we are going to do the maiden voyage of this bad boy, or bad girl, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, we're gonna fly her around. You can cue the, what's it called? March of the Valkyries. Dun da 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 dun da 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 dun dun da da da, because she is about to take flight. And I think I'm getting the hang of this. It's just a little tough to calibrate, but for 30-40 bucks, definitely cool. So I popped the tires on the bike, put the bull horns back on, adjusted the seat, and we are going to go for the maiden voyage as well on the specialized FSR Extreme. This is going to be amazing. And yes, I'm wearing a helmet because I'm in the middle of nowhere and I have some stuff to replace to fix the bike just in case I get lost, but I'm not going too far just in case. Also have the GoPro mounted right on the front, so I'm going to get some footage of the trail. Maybe we'll see some crazy wildlife. But yeah, this is her. I'll show the hook afterwards that I set up to hang this inside the shipping container. But yeah, here we go. Made a new friend. This guy absolutely loves me. Can't wait to say hi. But yeah, I don't know if he's friendly or not, but he's wagging his tail. Having a great day, lazy dog afternoon. But I'm gonna keep going. Alright, so I made it to the actual road which goes back into town, but yeah, this is the view from here right now. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, look at that. Absolute smoke show right here. Believe it or not, this is what's left of that massive fire last night, and it's still going. Packing up to go back, just wanted to mention I put in these lights here just so that way it's lit at night when anyone wants to go into the bathroom. And yeah, we'll finish setting this up probably in a couple weeks when I'm back here. I hate leaving here. This is one of the nicest days ever. Went on a bike ride, flew the drone around, fired the pews a little bit. I don't show the pews, by the way, just because YouTube doesn't like that. So yeah, this is the remnants of that massive fire. It's everything that's left. I have to pour some water on that, put some sand on it a bit. Yeah, this is the range. And cleaned up everything over here. So this is how it looks right now. Gonna have to finish this trench, putting all the electrical stuff. So put a roof on this bad boy, move all the batteries here, put the solar panels right there, maybe on some sort of a turntable eventually. Did a little bit of raking here, and I just want to show the bike quickly. So cleaned the storage container a little bit just because when I got here it was out of control. So just put everything together over here. But yeah, this is the bike. So it's on a hook. Whoops, overexposed there. So yeah, I got this hook. So it's hooked up here. It's out of the way. Lawnmower, of course. Put the zero gravity chairs in here. Got a queen size bed for the other bunkie too, so we'll put that up. We already have a frame and 2 other bunk beds, so yeah, things are coming along. Got the car packed up with some stuff that I'm going to bring back that needs fixing, and just some stuff that we really haven't used at all. Still need to figure out what to do with the Sandpoint well. I don't think I'm going to put it back here because I went, probably 12 feet or so before I had that issue last year, and unfortunately wasn't able to do it. So I'm thinking I go and walk a little bit in to the acreage that way, basically southeastish a little bit, and then we'll be all set. But that's it for now. If you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you for watching right up until the end. I have a lot more content that I am planning to come out with. I have some exciting stuff coming up in terms of fireworks for Canada Day, some stuff for May 2-4 weekend, my Mima's birthday, all sorts of stuff coming up spring, summer, and fall. So I am actually very close to having this channel monetized. So if you could do me a quick favor and just like and subscribe to this channel, I would greatly appreciate that. It would really help me out at this point because I am so close. I only need just under a couple hundred more subscribers and a little bit more watch time to be fully monetized and become a part of the YouTube partner program, so I would really appreciate that. I don't really ask much for support in terms of this channel, but I have all sorts of awesome stuff planned out in the future in terms of videos. It would also help me create any sort of upgrades as well to the off-grid property. So if you could do me a favor, that would really help me out. If not, that's totally cool. You can downvote this video if you really want to. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Have a great one. This guy's got to ruin it for everyone. It's for the birds, not you, bud. Quite the acrobat.